Welcome to another episode of Demystifying Gay Porn. My name is IK Grande, and if you watch gay porn, I've definitely helped you get off at one point or another. My guest today is one of the most, I would say, requested porn stars for me to interview from my last season, the last episode. So here he is. His name is Riley Mitchel. He is a porn star for, how long have you been a porn star now?
Almost 3 years.
Okay. Wow, really? It's been 3 years?
Yeah, 2018, February of 18.
Is it your day job porn or is it?
So I used to be a restaurant manager.
Okay.
But when I started porn, I thought I only want to get fucked in one aspect of my life. Okay. So I stopped with the restaurants. I was working at a bar when I was home in the city, so they were pretty cool. They knew what I did, so I just told them the days that I was home, and they gave me shifts for when I was there.
You're a cook.
Yeah.
You love to cook.
I love cooking. It's my stress reliever.
Okay.
So whenever I'm angry or I'm in the porn industry, I like serving people, but I like knowing that I can make somebody happy with food. Mm-hmm. So I like hosting. I like being that kind of person. So I like watching people enjoy my food.
What came first, food or porn? Like for you,
food.
Loves. Yeah.
Food was always. My mom's a cook, so I just watched her growing up, knowing that like the effect food can have on people and how influential it can be. So I learned how to cook, and it was like one of my secret weapons. When I was dating, I would cook you food, and like that's
how you got him.
That's how I got you.
Now, okay, so I think I heard you say that you're Italian, although I could have already.
I am Italian and Irish, and until the end of last year, that's all I thought I was. But it was always a joke growing up that my grandfather was the milkman's son because he didn't look like anybody, and lo and behold, he fucking was. Because I am just as much Portuguese as I am Irish, and we have no Portuguese people in our family.
Really?
So yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting.
So, yeah.
But is your mom Italian?
My mom is Irish, and my father is Italian.
Okay. Because I was trying to see if there was some kind of correlation with the mother and the Italian. Because a lot of times you have an Italian mother.
Yes, my mom was my grandmother was Irish, and she taught my mom how to make Irish food. Okay. But my father and my mother have been together since they're 15. Okay. And my grandmother was an amazing cook, so my mom learned from my father's mother.
Old school. Yeah, that's how my parents were too. What led you to get into the porn industry?
I always wanted to do it, just for the sheer fact is that when I grew up, porn was different. It was kind of like unobtainable of what people looked like in porn. So I wanted to do it, but I never thought that I could do it because of everything. And I'm actually friends with Rocco Steele. Okay. And I was sexting him one day, and Steve Cruz saw my pictures. Okay. And he asked if I would ever do porn. And 3 years later.
Yeah, here you are. We did a scene in 2018 for Alpha Club.
Yes.
It was you,
me, Jake Morgan, and
Noah Donovan.
I'm sorry?
Noah Donovan.
Noah Donovan.
Yeah.
Oh, he lives down the block from me.
Yeah. I remember. I think you said something in regard to you guys having
one of my favorite penises.
And I think where we shot, you had
was my friend's apartment building. We were just one apartment.
That's
lower
crazy.
Than
Yeah.
Where I was like, oh, this is fun. Like, are we shooting in his apartment?
Yeah. From there, what studios have you worked with? How's your experience?
I think I've worked with most of the big ones. I've worked with Men. I've worked with Raging. I'm not really a Falcon boy because I have hair. I've done Raw Fuck Club. I think I've really done most of them. The big ones that I haven't done are like Next Door Studios. But like most of them, I don't think I would appeal to because I'm either too old or hairy. I have tattoos. So I feel like the studios that I've worked for are the ones that I would work for because of the way that I aesthetically look.
How was growing up, by the way? Did you grow up here in New York?
I'm from New York.
Okay.
Growing up was...
Yeah, gay?
I grew up in the closet.
Okay.
I didn't come out until my freshman year of college. My friends knew, and yeah, but like I wasn't like in college, I introduced myself as like I was gay.
Okay.
I think the biggest thing about coming out is having someone's perception change of you.
Mm-hmm.
So you grow up with all your straight friends and they think that you're straight, but really you're gay. And then they're thinking, oh, was he looking at me? Was he doing this? Was he doing that? And I just think in college, I was just Matt. So like I didn't have to change anyone's perception of me. It was just, that's how I introduced myself.
Did you watch straight porn growing up, or did you watch?
I did watch straight porn. Right. Dale DeBone and Julian Reyes.
Oh my God, beautiful.
Are my go-to porn people.
Yeah.
Oh, and Stephen St. Croix.
Stephen St. Croix. I think,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh my God, I still jerk off to him.
Oh, so
I've actually met Dale DeBone because he's from Florida, and I remember when I first came out, he was working at a bar in Fort Lauderdale, and I walked in and I was like, oh my God, it's Dale DeBone.
Yeah.
So him, and then recently Julian Reyes, I would give my left testicle to have sex with him.
He did a bi video once.
He did a bi.
Yeah.
Why not bi? I still jerk off to it. I saw him in the airport and like totally cruised him, followed him, was hoping that he turned around and said anything. But he's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And now he just looks even better because he's like a little bit aged and he's salt and peppery. Yeah. But like, I just wanted to be like, anything you want to do, I'm down.
Yeah, he was funny because we definitely watched the same age of porn, straight porn especially, because my father didn't have gay porn in like his porn stash.
Yeah, in his porn, I used to jerk off to my brother's porns, and they were all VHSs.
Yeah,
and
so
those were the guys
TT Boy, Tony Tedeschi, all these people. Them. Yeah, they were all kind of. Julian Rios was on a different level. I feel like that's when porn stars started to really take care of themselves.
Yes,
he was absolutely
and
gorgeous.
He had a website that Mr. Big Dicks. That I think he used to do. And it was just him like railing these girls.
Really?
And it was just like he's just so pretty.
Yeah.
And like, when I grew up, that's what porn was to me.
Okay.
So when I finally got my body to a point where I was like, okay, I can have sex on film.
Yeah.
Like that's what I was shooting for.
All right. Yeah. So it was either straight porn or International Male Magazine. Did you get that too?
No, I used to jerk off to Men's Fitness, like the ads that they used to have in the back of the newspaper, and Mark Dalton. Remember Mark Dalton?
Mark Dalton.
He's like literally chiseled to the gods. Okay. And he was blonde. He was like straight, but I think he's in jail now for beating his girlfriend. Okay. Something like that. But yeah, I used to do those, and I used to steal the Playgirl from the store that I used to work at. So like I would be doing the newspapers and like switching out the papers, and then just put the magazine in a newspaper and steal it, because I grew up in a small town, and if I bought anything like that, they would know, and then I would be. And I grew up, my parents were very old school, so I remember thinking when I came out, I was going to be disowned.
What about gay porn? When did that come in? Like, when was the first time you saw gay porn?
I used to jerk off to Sean Cody. That was like my go-to. And I would say pretty much high school, I realized that I found men attractive. I don't know, straight porn still does it for me because the guys look different. Yeah. I don't know. They carry themselves differently. They look differently.
There's something hot about a man.
There's just something about, like, I think it's that they're unobtainable. Yeah. That's a turn on to me. Even like now, when you see a straight guy and you're like, oh, he's hot. But if he were gay, you'd be like, ugh, get away from me.
I know.
But
just
the fact that he's straight is like a kind of thing. Yeah. And because I escort, I have sleep with straight people all the time. So it's, I don't know.
What do you think that is? Do you think that's like a, because a lot of times I feel like straight men feel like having sex with men is a fetish for them. Do you think
I can see that. I think that we have made sexuality something that it really doesn't need to be. I think back in the day, you look at Greek, Roman, Egyptian, they all had same sex. They used to, in Rome, you were given to an older man so that you could be trained.
How to please a woman.
A woman. Yeah, sign me up.
Yeah, I know.
I read an art, it was a story about the Spartans, like the army people, the newer recruits had to get everyone off
Really?
within a certain amount of time, or you were killed.
Jesus. Okay.
So like if you you're the new one of the member, the entire army has to like fuck you and you have to get them all off within a certain amount of time, or
it's a lot of pressure. But hey,
sign me up.
I know. I'd be up for that.
I was like, that's a Tuesday, right?
What about your first? Because Sean Cody was
Brock
nice.
Masters. Does anyone know who Brock Masters is?
Shaved head?
No, he sounds like who was the Jeff Stryker? He has like that raspy, and he used to do the, I think it's One World. There's one where he left porn, and then I guess like, you know, you always come back, and
it's always one or two retirements.
Oh yeah, he was getting robbed, and he was in the shower, and he comes out, and the person's robbing him.
Oh, the young guy.
Yes.
Oh my God, that was great.
Yes, Hole Robbers is the name of the.
And then the friend is underneath the bed. Is that the same one?
No. That's a different one.
Okay.
But yeah, and then he just like, he's just so sexy.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm like, I look him up sometimes. I'm like, because I've been able to almost sleep with every porn crush I've had growing up.
That's awesome.
The only one who got away is Zeb Atlas. Because he's not in porn anymore. And Spencer Reed, but he lives in Germany now, and he's a DJ.
So I'm curious, which of your conquests of growing up, like gay porn?
Rocco Steele.
Okay.
I met him because I wanted my husband to buy him for me for my birthday. And we had ended up messaging each other, but it was a fake account. So then I ended up messaging him separately. And I was like, hey, I think we were talking. And he's like, no, I've never met you. Send me a picture. So I sent him a picture, and he was like, but we should know each other.
That's awesome.
So we ended up, we've become friends. So we're actually friends now. But like, I remember that was like one of my, and, I'm obsessed with Ryan Bones. Like, Ryan
Bones.
He's a men.com model.
Okay.
He's straight. He has this Bastones tattoo. You know, you ever play Breach when you were younger? It's the Italian card game.
So it's a Bastone.
It's a Bastone. That's the name of the card. But it looks like a feather, but it's green, red, and yellow.
Huh. Okay.
He has it right here. I don't know. He's straight, but when last year, somebody mentioned like, oh, I want Riley and Ryan to do a movie together, and literally the next day men's producers were texting me, and I was like, oh my God. So they were like, yeah, you are going to film with him, and you're going to film with Bo Sin. And I was like, I will pay for my flight, my hotel, just send me the dates, where am I going? But Ryan knew I was like into him, and he's straight, and like that's kind of weird because they come and then they shoot up to do the scene. So they come first.
Oh, I see.
So because they can't actually get off from the guy. He was like whispering things in my ear, and like he knew that I was into him.
Okay.
So like he made it so much hotter.
That's
and
hot.
Also the fact that the scene was me on a Lazy Susan. So they were just spinning me back and forth between him and his friend Jackson Reed, I think it was. I'm really bad with names.
Yeah.
But penises,
You remember that.
I remember. I've been sent pictures. I'm like, that's not your dick. I've had that dick. It's not attached to you.
I think I spoke to your husband once, and I was going to have him on the podcast as being your husband. Actually, he works for another studio.
He does not do porn.
He doesn't do porn.
My husband actually works for. I can't tell you.
No,
but
okay.
He has like an actual job.
Yes. Okay.
So we do film together, but you won't see his face.
Okay.
Sometimes you'll see his face,
right.
But I stopped doing it because we had somebody wanted me and knew him, and they went after his job.
Oh,
so
I see.
I can't.
Yeah.
Can't
Okay. What's it like having your relationship? I'm not sure how it is, but what's it like? He's in a different profession or a different field.
I kind of like it, and then I kind of don't, because we have an open relationship. I would rather sleep with him with anyone. His dick is phenomenal. He's gorgeous, but he just doesn't have the sex drive that I do. He lets me do what I want, and I know that I'm coming home at the end of the day, and that it's a job.
Yeah. Okay.
It's really just a job for me. I enjoy sex. I was like, I'm going to get paid for it. Might as well do it. But it's nice having the balance.
Okay.
But also, I don't like, for fan content, we have rules. So like, I only sleep with other porn stars.
Okay.
Because then it's just me having sex with everybody, and he's not comfortable with that. So he feels more comfortable knowing that it's a work-based thing, and that we're both benefiting from it than me just fucking random people and filming it.
Now, going into fan sites, and I know you're on a couple, and you produce your own content. How has that differed from going to a porn studio? What has your experience been?
So what I like to do is, because I do porn as a job, I don't want to make sex into a job. So what I also get off on is like the voyeur aspect of it. And I like just putting the camera up and letting it happen. Because once you see, you can tell when it's produced or when they're actually just into each other and having sex. So when I film with my husband, I just put the camera down, and if it catches it, it catches it. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Because I don't want to make him feel like our sex is now a job and an obligation and stuff like that. Okay. But yeah, I think it also just keeps me, like, I go through spells where like I want to be super slutty, or like I'm like I've been having sex for weeks, I don't want anyone to touch me, kind of thing.
How hard is it now to do your own content, and do you enjoy it? Or, because I know it's a job.
It's a job. Sometimes I catch myself, I'm like, I really need to do this because I have people that pay and are expecting certain things. But then other times I'm like, I just want to have sex, or I just want to like do it and not have some sort of obligation or something to do with it. But like I said, I like to just put the camera up and let it follow. And also, now that I've become popular, I also escort. So a lot of my clients kind of get off on it too. So they let me film it. So that makes more sense.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So like, I'll put like, if you look at my site now, I think the last 3 videos are clients, and I just blindfolded them. So you can't see their face. And then they go from there.
What would you say is one of the biggest challenges of doing fan content?
Go after it. You have to. It's not something that just falls into your lap. It's something that needs to be pursued, or otherwise it doesn't happen.
Models, casting,
models, casting. Yeah. Like I'm attracted to a complete, like, who you see me sleep with is usually not, like, I like older men. Okay. Like, if you don't have an AARP card, don't come to me. Like, I like older gentlemen. I've always been attracted to older men.
Even when, like, in your 20s and stuff?
Even in my 20s. I'd say even when I was like 16, I could have put half of my town away for statutory rape. I liked to a certain extent. Okay. But I feel like in my early 20s, I wanted somebody around my age, and then I realized that I don't want that. And my first boyfriend, and he was 18 years older than me.
So now, as you get older, do you find...
I still want older.
Okay.
Younger people are... I know how that ends.
But older than you by 20 years, or older than you by...
Well, I'm 34 now. So yeah, 55 would be perfect. You have your shit together. You know what you're doing. Hopefully you're not aloof and just floating around. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
you found
that's a turn on to like have your shit together, especially now. As I get older, it's more of a turn on to like know that I won't have to pack an extra bagged lunch for you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to take care of you. That's a turn on to me.
Okay. Speaking of turn ons, what have you discovered in porn, or what have you just...
I don't really watch my own porns.
Okay.
I don't like hearing the sound of my voice.
Really?
Yeah. And for most of the raging ones, because they were acting. So I'm like fully in dialogue and stuff like that. So that's the kind of stuff I don't like to see. I've been nominated for Best Actor all 3 years. So I've watched those scenes. But really the only 2 porns that I like religiously watch, I was blindfolded and fucked by Ray Diesel which was super fun. And then I stumbled upon this gym and was gangbanged by a bunch of sexy black men, which was one of the things that I will watch.
Okay. Wow, that sounds hot.
It was very, very hot. And that's usually that's the scene I get recognized the most from.
Okay.
Like people will be like, "Oh, I liked that scene." Yeah. I don't know. I'm usually playing. I have a niche. I play the same kind of character. So I'm either like the bro, or I do very well with being the criminal, the rapist, the drug cartel.
So like, they've typecast.
They've typecast me. I think it's the tattoos. I'm actually sweet and nice, but yeah, I don't look approachable. But if you do see me, come approach me. Because I'm very nice.
Actually, funny you say that, because I've met you before, but if I see you, on the street, I'd be like, okay, straight guy, not approaching him. Yeah. You're absolutely right. Even when you walked in today, I was like, oh, I remember him, but you do have.
Yeah, I get that a lot. I think it's just my face.
Not bad at all.
No, it's not. Yeah. I'm not. I know it myself. I don't come off very approachable. It's something that I'm working on. But also,
you don't want to walk around with
I also used to never smile because I had messed up teeth. Because growing up, we were poor and that wasn't a thing. So the first thing I did with my porn money is I bought a new smile. So now you will see me, I'm smiling all the time because I fucking paid for them.
Yeah.
And you will see them.
I heard you say something before when you were getting ready to shoot. And it was regarding people on fan sites not being porn stars. How would you describe that?
I know it. I don't want to sound judgy or anything like that, but I know growing up, porn was something that was unobtainable. Like you had to look a certain way. It was a certain type. It was just a certain. I think that could be wrong. It's just maybe the porn that I watched was like that. But I feel like now anyone with a camera can call themselves a porn star, and like no, until you've worked 12-hour days and been in the most uncomfortable positions, and you know what I mean? Though that's a porn. Yeah. That's to me. Otherwise you're just someone with a webcam. And it's just like, well, I don't want to just have sex with random people. Like that's not something that appeases me anymore.
Yeah. What kind of advice would you give people?
I have been asked multiple times why I got into porn.
Okay.
And I've been asked, I need money. Don't get into it for money, because it never goes away and it will follow you. And if you're not, also you need to be in the correct mental state, because a lot of you see a lot of these actors and a lot of these performers get into it. You get notoriety, you get money, you're around people, you start doing drugs, you start drinking, and then you lose your shit.
Yeah.
I've kept it where it's a job, and I think that is one of the reasons why I've been successful. I never do anything half-ass, and I even said it, if I was going to do porn, I didn't want to be someone who just did a video. I wanted to be a porn star. Yeah. So like people know who I am now, and I find that's to me, that's like, we were in P-Town for a month and I'm at the pool and people came up to me and they were like, oh my God, I love you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that like makes me smile inside, because I don't know. All of my friends have told me I've ruined porn for them because I'm in every scene, and they're like, I can't turn on anything without jerking off, and you're there. I'm like, well, I'm doing something right. Yeah. But I just think that if you're going to do it, get into it for the right reasons. I am vain and I love sex. So getting fucked and having people watch me because of the way that I look is a huge turn on for me. And I think that's why it worked for me. Okay. I know a lot of people who get into it and then it just doesn't work for them. Yeah. Or they get into it for the wrong reasons and they think that you're just going to become this porn star off the bat and everyone's it's gonna be super easy. And no, it's hard work, it's dedication, it's sacrifice. I'm away a lot of the time. I don't get to see my friends, my family. My sisters know what I do, but my parents and my brother do not know. So they think that I'm traveling, doing something else. So it's like I'm pretty much kind of back in the closet again, living a dual life. But I wouldn't trade it for the world. I have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I've met great people. I've been able to travel the world. I get to bring my husband with me. Yeah, I think that where I am now, I'm happy, I'm content. I don't plan on being in porn forever. I was actually supposed to start culinary school this year, but I have no smell or taste.
So culinary school.
I
is in the
never.
future.
What'd you say?
Culinary schools in the future.
Yes,
Okay.
it is in the future.
Okay.
I don't see myself not doing porn, but I definitely see myself not doing it full time because, like I said, I get off on that on the attention.
Yeah.
So I don't want to give that up.
Okay. Sweet. Awesome. I have to thank you so much because you gave me a little bit of your time. I appreciate it. And like I said, what I'm trying to do here is just talk to porn stars and show them that, like, show people that are, and people are listening and people are watching, which is cool. Show them that they're,
We're exactly the same as you.
Yeah.
You'd be so surprised when people come up to you and they're like, "Oh, I totally thought you would be one way," or "Totally think that like I would never be able to approach you."
Yeah.
Or in the other aspect where like you meet someone and they automatically think that you're like a hoe, down to fuck, want to do all these crazy things, and I'm like, no, I'm vanilla.
Yeah.
Like, get away from me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have time for that.
I'm not on right now.
Yeah, like unless you got a camera and my scene rate, I'm missionary and lights off.
Where can people find you?
So you can find me at my new Twitter account because I got hacked.
Oh, you did?
So it's my same name. It's Riley Mitchel XXX, and Mitchell only has one L.
Yes.
And then you can find me at OnlyFans and Just for Fans, same handle as my Twitter.
Okay.
So Riley Mitchell XXX.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I really
And-
appreciate it.
Yeah.
You've been watching Demystifying Gay Porn. I am your host, Ike Grande. Demystifying Gay Porn is available wherever you get your podcasts, as well as YouTube. Demystifying Gay Porn is on X, Instagram, Facebook, Telegram. And if you like what you're watching or listening to and want to be a part of the creative process, head over to patreon.com/demystifyinggayporn, where you can help support this audiovisual podcast and YouTube channel, and I can continue making content like you've just enjoyed. Once again, this is Demystifying Gay Porn. My name is Ike Grande, and if you watch gay porn, I've definitely helped you get off. Cheers.